Antibiotics save lives and help people cope with illnesses of all kinds. But overuse in patient treatment and in agriculture is causing an alarm within the medical community.
And now some doctors say it's time for doctors to step up and do something, just as they did with the dangers of smoking. WMAR 2 News' Ashley James explains the risk of antibiotics in our food.
Kendra Pierson has an appetite for all the best for her growing family.
I have two boys who are 6 and 10, and so they're really in that growing and developmental stage, so it's important that I give them strong, healthy foods that meet their bodies.
For her, that means finding foods created without antibiotics, which have been used routinely for decades for disease prevention.
Chicken, beef, lamb, almost any meat that you can buy is likely to have antibiotics unless it's specified that it doesn't.
Critics blame use of these medicines for the rise in superbugs, and there's some science behind their concerns.
The World Health Organization has identified antibiotic-resistant organisms to be the #1 future public health threat in the world.
Dr. Martin McCary is now calling on fellow physicians to lead the charge against antibiotics in food. According to the CDC, agricultural antibiotic use is responsible for about 20% of resistant infections in humans.
We need to start blowing the whistle and saying, if we don't do something about this now, we are going to witness an entire generation of infections that is going to be resistant to everything we have out there.
The North American Meat Institute says farmers follow strict FDA mandates when an animal is treated to ensure safety, and says USDA testing finds no residues of concern in meat products more than 99% of the time. Also adding that the CDC has said that the #1 contributor to antibiotic resistance is overuse among humans, and we certainly hope that Johns Hopkins will look even more closely at that issue. Dr. McCary strongly disagrees and says the routine use of antibiotics in farm animals for disease prevention should be banned worldwide, and says consumers can take a stand by only buying antibiotic-free foods. The North American Meat Institute also says antibiotics are sometimes used in livestock production, but never in meat production.